Okay. Hello, everybody. We're going to give it just a few minutes for everyone to get in over here. And I do that every week. Getting my chat on. I know that a lot of people are over at Dyer Family Farms, and they are probably about to finish up. So we're just kind of getting the last few. Monty hasn't even come over and sat down yet. He got up and I think he's turning down the computer. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Oops. Oh. Okay. All's good. Dropped the phone. I have a new case coming. I've dropped my phone a few too many times, and my case is starting to crack on the ends, and so I've got a new one. What do we got here? Okay. We're just checking here. Still giving it a few minutes. That's not. Giving it a few minutes to kind of getting our phones lined out. And that's what I need to do too. Anyway, I was saying I've got a new case coming. And with the snow we've had, everything's been delayed. So actually, I still had a message, an Amazon message.
I don't think anybody's here yet.
Yes. It's okay. Because on the replay, people are seeing it. But anyway, I've got packages coming, and they were supposed to be, I think, some today, but I haven't seen if they've been delivered yet. But with the weather here, it is, everything is delayed. So
3B's here.
I see 3B. I see Money Pit. Welcome, y'all. We always have to cut off a little bit. We're always watching Dyer Farm Family before we hop on ours, and we always have to cut off early just to make sure we
don't have any technical issues.
No.
Which she found one at 5 minutes till.
Yeah, I did, but I got it corrected. It looks like I got it corrected, so I'm starting to figure out a little bit of this.
We got half.
Hey, Keith.
You got half the farm to table here.
Brooke and Colton and Donald and Lisa. And there's Jack and Dina. Yep, everybody is saying hi. I was just saying how I just dropped my phone just as Monty was sitting down, and my case that is already cracking. So
Paul, this is what I'm watering down.
Hello. What do you? Yep. Goodness. So anyway, I've got another case. Amazon was supposed to be delivering tonight, and I don't know if they've brought it yet. The snow we got, 3-4 days ago?
Thursday.
Mm-hmm. It's delayed everything. I was supposed to have some deliveries for birthday, and we had a wedding and everything, and over the weekend.
We didn't. Somebody else did.
Right. But all the gifts, everything was just, delayed. The snow I think it just shut everything down. And then Amazon, takes their time, and instead of getting it to you the next day, they're like, oh, it'll be delivered Monday or Tuesday or whenever. So that's kind of where we're at. Okay. There's Robbie and Sonia. So what is going on with everybody? I know we've kind of been on some lives, and a lot of people have gotten snow. A lot of people didn't get any yet. We got hammered here at
6
the house.
inches.
Yeah, we took the ruler out and took the video pictures, all that. So,
Yeah.
because we just haven't had that much snow, it doesn't seem like, especially that heavy, wet snow.
It made great snowballs.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I didn't have any luck making them, but you did. Hey, Janae. Hey, Jenny. Good seeing you guys. I'm going to post the link. Da. Let's see if I can remember how, guys. There's Ryan. And do I come over here and paste it? There. Did it come up already? I'm blurry-eyed again. These multiple lives just do a number. Okay, there it is.
But Jack had a way to do it up at the top
I know.
so that it stays there. But right now, everybody will just have to hunt for it.
Let me see. It's pinned it. Let's see. I think
There's Jack. He'll
it's
fill us
not
in.
pinned up there. It's pinned on the YouTube link. Yeah. Hello, Ben. I think it's Beth, BNUS Odyssey. Yep. And Scotty with Lone Cross. Yeah, because there's where I posted the link. Oh, let's see. Here we go.
Oh,
Hey, there you are.
There we are.
we forgot we had to add you to the stage. I was
Sometimes
talking,
I
I was talking to you.
Sometimes we
I heard
forget to
You
look
got it
down.
pinned. See, it's pinned on the phone, but
Mhm.
it's not. It never pins on the computer, but it's good. You did
Okay.
well. At least
Yeah.
not on the computer it was done from.
Okay.
Dina's up here, got her phone right up to the video, taking your picture, Michelle.
Do what?
She took your picture. I don't know. She put help wanted or something under
Oh,
it.
No,
my.
I'm gonna save it to your contact information
Oh, okay.
in my phone if
Oh,
I know how.
oh, I know.
There's
I
Ryan.
have to relearn everything every time I try
Yeah.
to.
For a little while.
There
Ryan
it is.
showing off that fancy microphone again.
I know.
Well, you know, I mean, I could turn this one off and go to the cameras, Mike, but it ain't as good.
We're just on our laptop. We don't have an external mic on it.
Nah. Well, I do everything pretty much right. If I'm not over at Keith's, I do everything right here at the same place every time. So it's,
Yeah, you've got a setup there. I don't think our audio on this laptop is nowhere near loud enough, but
Oh, it sounds good to me, and I
Yeah,
can
it's
hear.
good.
good. Okay. Good. I just can't hear it on my end.
And I'm the one with the hearing problem.
I mean, I can, but it's just like I want it up a little higher, but it won't go. It's
You want to borrow this?
I didn't put mine in today.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so but everybody else has the sound is coming across good.
Yeah.
Hello, Paul Case. Jump on there, Paul.
BNUS Odyssey.
Panel. Yep. So there's
My little sister's even in here. She liked it so much on my live, she came to your live.
oh my. Yes, thank you, Billy. I don't think I've ever seen her. I've always seen her name. I knew she was your sister, but we had never seen her before. Let's see.
Yeah, y'all haven't met.
Growing up, we called her Bill Bill.
Say it again.
Growing up, we called her Bill Bill.
Okay.
When we got in high school, she changed her name to her middle name, Corey, or shortened her middle name. Her middle name's Corrine. And she shortened it to Corey. And that took forever to get used to. And now when I get on here and see her name as Billy, which is the way she set up her channel, that there's no content, it just throws me off. But anyway, still my little sister.
Mhm.
I'll be live, Scotty. No Memorex tomorrow. So
Corey.
Yeah.
All depends on all depends on my work schedule from day to day. If I have to be in
Right.
too early to
Well,
get
that's
started, to do it, actually be there for the lives, then it'll be
Scotty, does Memorex exist anymore?
well. Those of us who know what it is,
Right.
Yeah.
Right, Ryan.
I still remember the Kodak booths you used to have to take your pictures to get developed.
so say remember 1 hour photo and all that. right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was what ruined me from taking pictures when I was younger, is because I would take them and I'd forget to take them, get them processed, and by the time I'd remember, they were ruined. They wasn't no good. So,
How about the Polaroid?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When I was
Instamatic Polaroid.
Mama sent us to all Christian girls camp, and there were some girls that had the Polaroid camera, and they came up to me one time. They said, "Can I take your picture?" I said, "What for?" They said, "You look like Brooke Shields." I said, "I didn't even know who that was." I said, "I guess."
Blue Lagoon.
I said, "I guess so." I still have these friends that I've made in the summer camp up in Maine. My mama drove us for hours just to go to the Christian all-girls camp.
Oh, wow.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I remember them Polaroids. My mom getting on me for I liked the flash, and I just clicked off all her flashes, and she did.
Oh no.
Ryan.
I forgot about
Those
those
little
old
cubes.
little cube flashes.
Yeah. The Kodak disc.
I remember the little disc cameras.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
We didn't ever have one, but I've seen them. Boy, that Polaroid though, that was cutting edge. You had one of them, you was somebody. Instant pictures.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Waiting on it to dry.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And now it's a thing. Well, it was back several years ago to get the Polaroids all over again and do them at the weddings and things like that.
But they're
Mhm.
little bitty things.
And how they used to get
Yeah,
them.
that's true.
Yeah, and remember the Charlie Chaplin old style film cameras, when they first needed lighting, they used actual fire
Oh,
to light that camera up.
Yeah.
And all the different lenses. I happen to be blessed to go to Debbie Reynolds' son's house before the pandemic, and he collects all the nostalgic film cameras, all his mother's memorabilia. He loves his mom so very much, Debbie. And her and Carrie died within one day of each other. But the absolutely has been working tirelessly with his family to preserve every piece of his mom and all her work. You know, she had such a wonderful yet tough life, yet beautiful, and she had 2 children. And he's the last one standing, and he's really what a beautiful soul and a reflected of his mama. You know, because when you're a mama's girl or mama's boy, and you know you have one mama. So if y'all haven't talked with yours, talk with them if they're still here. And even if they're not still here, they're there in spirit, and they live within you, and they live within all your generations. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that's important.
yeah. Scotty says we are showing our age now. Talking about the Polaroids and the.
How many pictures I got on this?
I love it.
Hundreds. You know how
Thousands.
you know what that would have taken to carry hundreds of pictures back then? It hurt your
I know
back.
it.
Over 1,200 on that right there, and videos and pictures. Yeah.
Oh my.
I keep mine pared down because I do all my videoing and stuff on there.
I
But
don't even know
Yeah.
how you look like.
I
Mhm.
tried to. I got a little notification that I've got like 59 minutes left. So I've got to go in and delete the trash and then go and purge. Pretty heavy.
Dana's got 1,600.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe.
I haven't looked to see how many. I'm afraid to see how many I have. But it takes a while to go in there. I used to think, well, if you were, deleting them out and sending them to trash, you were good. until my phone quit working one time. And I
Oh,
took
you
it in and they were like, oh, well, the trash, it's just still holding it. You have to go into your trash bin and delete that.
Dump it too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Which
So-
I got mine set up to automatically dump after 30 days now. But
your picture or your trash.
yeah.
Yeah.
Monty, what do you think about them deer I sent you the other day?
I was wishing I lived closer to you.
We had the day of the deer that day. There was over 30 deer
insane.
here.
I see what
They
you're
just
saying.
came from everywhere.
There you go, Paul. I'm sorry.
Look, he looks
I
scared to
forget to
death.
look down.
I was pointing at it and she was looking
thought-
over in the chat.
I thought you were pointing to a chat, and I'm scrolling over here trying to.
He's sitting there making faces at us.
Now he's gonna say his.
Hey, he's
What?
in the basement.
What are you doing? Y'all gotta say it with him.
Oh, forget that. We're
There
just
he
like
is.
peas and carrots again, always together.
Uh-huh. That's right.
Okay, Jenny, I've heard it pronounced that it's really Jenny, right? Not
Just like-
Janae.
Just like Forrest Gump says it, Jenny.
Janae.
Janae.
Okay,
That's just like Forrest Gump says it.
okay. That's I've been saying, I've been always trying to catch myself. I'll say Janae and then say Jenny.
Oh, it's perfect. You can say that's fine, y'all.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
Janae is easy.
All right, that's
Time to get
fine.
up.
Yeah.
Someone
No,
bring it.
that ain't my alarm.
Somebody's alarm went off. It's time to get up.
It's
I won't be
somebody.
able to go back to sleep now.
I don't think it was on our end.
No.
Donald and Lisa are in here from Money Pit Homestead, and y'all, they're so special. I actually wasn't able to get on their live tonight, but I usually try to make it to everyone's. Although I can't be I can be omnipresent in spirit, but
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
Donald
hard to
and
make them all.
we popped in on theirs and we caught the last half or the last part of it.
mm-hmm.
I'm not, if they're still there, Donald, hop in. I think we've got room for one more.
Show off that beautiful white beard, Donald.
Yeah. That
It is.
beautiful bean footage. Roll that beautiful bean footage.
I was earlier. I was on with Robbie and them, and then bouncing over to Dale's and back and forth, and had two screens open and turning the music.
Ryan, I've done that.
Yeah.
I've done it. I've done it.
I've got to get over this sickness. Man, I barely got out of the deadgum recliner enough to get to my live. And I'm just being
Mhm.
plumb honest with you guys.
I'm right there with you. I was
Yep.
in the recliner listening to most of these lives from over there.
He hasn't felt great today. It's this, I don't know how many bugs are going around, but they're getting the grandkids and the kids and
Mhm.
no, I don't
I'm
think
tired of it.
Yeah, click it and see.
Well,
Is
I
he
did.
muted?
He muted himself.
Oops. Okay. Yeah, so we're hoping Monty feels okay, but I'm hoping he's not coming down with anything.
Yeah, the grandkids have had everything, and at
Mhm.
that wedding last night, I was carrying one of them around, so
Mhm.
I'm guessing I must have picked that up.
I'm gonna lay it down. I've already dropped it.
I've got mine on New Year's Eve was the day I really started feeling it and was traveling home.
Mm.
So you got that traveling flu. That's what you got.
I got the airplane closed up with a bunch of hackers, flu, something.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yep.
And
The
that's
lady
the worst.
right behind me was coughing some. I was like,
Oh,
Lights on.
Mhm.
carry a bottle of Febreze and encapsulate myself or something.
Febreze.
Yeah.
That's all.
There's a really good amino acid that can help with these things, and also make sure y'all change your toothbrushes out until you feel better. You get the ones that you can just toss at Wally World or wherever you get them, and that helps too.
I'll do that tomorrow.
And
Yeah.
gargle with your salt and water.
I gotta go get my teeth cleaned tomorrow. I'll get a new toothbrush.
That's key. And do it every 2 weeks until you start feeling better, and then
I
There's
can't afford that. I ain't got that kind of toothbrush budget.
you can. I'm gonna send you some. You could pick up a package at Walmart for like under $4. You get 5 or 6 of them. Oral B or
What if I
whatever.
only use it once every 2 weeks?
Yeah,
Does it last
Mhm.
longer?
yeah. Well, till you feel better, because you don't want to. What you're gonna do is you don't want to
Jack,
transfer
she
that.
don't take a hard time very well.
My grandmother was a nurse for her entire life. She started off a military nurse, and she had 6 children. My mom's a twin, and so she helped raise me a little while in the South, and then I went back up with my mom and my parents. But she taught me a whole lot, and I would have loved to be a nurse. I just couldn't. When I see blood, my stomach gets queasy and all that.
Ryan, you see what your brother's saying?
I did. I just messaged him. I just texted him, and he's been struggling with it. He's had a few of them hit him this year.
Throwing up that fire cider can't be good.
Yeah, it's. Oh, he's he's got the fire cider, and I know he's been working on that. That he's about using that as salad dressing. He's getting so much of that right now. But
If I use fire cider as salad dressing, I never get any in me.
If I take it, it's got to go down the hatch and be chased by something. Because
That's funny, Serena.
but yeah, it's man, I don't know. He's off and on this year. He's been fighting with it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Ryan, you was talking a while ago about them flash bulbs. I've gotten in a heap of trouble with a flash bulb when I was a little snot.
Oh yeah, guaranteed.
Sitting in church Sunday morning, digging through my mom's handbag, and came across that. And it had to have been cold. I was wearing a coat. And the coat had little wire loops on the back of the buttons, and them would just fit perfect up in the little holes in the bottom of that flash bulb.
Oh,
That thing went off in the middle of the preaching. And that's something about a church in the late 70s, early 80s. There wasn't a lot of people taking pictures during the preaching. And I had heard my dad say numerous times, "Don't make me take you out of here." There wasn't none of that talk that day.
Just did it, didn't he?
He left, We got out on the porch, and he said, "I don't know how you done what you done, but don't do that again."
Oh man.
Well, what I done was set that off, and I had it in my hand. The second thing you don't know about them flash bulbs until you do it, they get incredibly hot.
Yes. they do.
Go off. Ow!
We all do it.
Everything stopped. Everything stopped.
I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom, Paul.
Keith and I grew up in of course, small town, same town Duncan live in fact. But we grew up in that town, and our church that we went to was this little bitty tiny church, and it had awesome acoustics. You didn't need a sound system.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom could snap her finger so hard that it would echo through that church. And if she snapped those fingers, everybody in church stopped, including the preacher, and knew who was in trouble.
Everybody know your mama snap.
Yep. And it was like, me and Keith used to tell her, we'd rather you just take us out back and whoop us than snap them fingers.
That's right. Get the whooping over. I'm tired of the lecture.
Well, Jenny, don't feel bad about thinking that if you saw blood, you'd pass out or get lightheaded or something.
Yeah.
I have taken several groups of kids to children's and youth camp.
Mhm.
One year at our youth camp, they had this guy that taught creation. I can't remember what his name is, but his dad was a real famous creation scientist, and he taught that what it says in the Bible is how this all began. And this guy was teaching about some little physics things, and he sold these rubber bands, and he taught kids how to shoot a rubber band and they were great big things. You could like pull it way back, you know.
I didn't need instructions.
Well, I didn't think I did either, but with a little bit of his instruction, you could make one of them rubber bands go a quarter mile, seemed like. And our tabernacle down there was pretty good size. It hold 500 or 600 people, and he could shoot it over that, and it actually landed in the lake
Wow.
just by pulling the thing back. No extra tools, but he was selling these rubber bands, and the kids, we got all the way down to like Thursday evening, and everybody was out of money, and there was only like one rubber band between all the kids in my cabin. And I caught them sitting out in this pavilion, and they were shooting that rubber band back and forth across that pavilion, hitting each other with it. And I was just watching what was going on. They was playing friendly. It wasn't like, let's see who we can give a fat eye with this rubber band. And this one boy shot it, and it bounced off of a girl, and she reached down to pick it up, and it was just an outdoor pavilion, had really old concrete. It was kind of rough. And when she reached down to pick it up, another guy stuck his foot over there and ground her hand into that concrete a little bit.
Oh my goodness.
She is a blonde girl, and she stood up and did a move that only blonde girls can do, where they suck all the air out of the room, you know. And all the air out of the room, and we wasn't even in the room. And I stood up and I said, let's go to the cabin and we'll clean that up and fix that up. And I put my arm around her and we start walking toward the cabin, you know, and I could see the blood dripping off of her arm. And she says, I can't clean that up. If I see my own blood, I'll faint. And I'm like, I'll clean it up for you. No problem. We'll fix it up. Of course, the guy, if you mention her name, he still says, I told her I was sorry. I don't know how many times for doing that. And he wasn't thinking about what he was doing. But that girl, like the next year, was at a big cheerleading competition, and she was one of the bottom ones on the pyramid. And they rode the girl on the top a little bit hard, and she went over and kicked her in the mouth at their biggest competition they went to, and knocked her teeth out. And the girl stands up, takes 3 steps toward her mom, which is sitting on the bleachers a little ways away, and then sees that she's bleeding and faints. And I'm like, I guess she's right.
Oh my.
Did you clean that up too?
I wasn't there. I wasn't there, and no, multiple surgeries to clean that up.
Ooh, that would be bad.
Yeah. You never know.
Oh man, church camp stories get you every time.
Oh, yeah.
Make me want to go back to camp.
I got I got more trouble at church camp than I did anywhere else.
Did you? Tell us about it, right?
Oh my goodness. Well, we had our church camp was boys and girls, but always separated. They had boys cabin, girls cabin, junior and senior. And it was like this thing to always try to get to the other cabins. Not like we were going to do anything when we got there, but it was just the fact that there was a barrier between us and them. And them counselors, oh man, they had to keep a night patrol. And and I think half of it was just slipping out of the cabin and see if we could get away with it. But I was coming out, and I went out the cabin window, and the counselor was coming around, and I had to dive head first through the window, cleared like 2 bunks, hit the concrete floor, scraped myself all up. Yeah. Couldn't deny doing that. Yeah.
I never went to church camp.
Oh, you missed
I
out.
had to choose between church camp and boys camp or Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
I was outdoorsy. I went to Boy Scouts.
I got lucky to do both, but it was.
What about Michelle and Monty? Did y'all do any of the scouts or have your children in them? Or I did missionettes and Girl Scouts and all that.
I was a brownie and a Girl Scout.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only remember one memory. I don't think I went to camp too often. I was young, and I think it was my first year, and first time I think to be away from my mom, and so I got
Mm.
really homesick, and so they took me to the counselor, and she gave me homesick pills, and she said you have to swallow them because they're really really bad. You can't chew them, and they ended up being like M&Ms. So, but they were.
There's an M on it. Yeah, it's a medication.
Nine. I don't know. I was in brownies. My sister was a Girl Scout, and she told me later that you couldn't chew them because they were M&Ms.
Oh, that's so
But it
sweet.
worked. I felt better, and I didn't miss mom anymore.
Mhm.
So Michelle, would
Same
you-
thing works with sending your hate mail to casesawmill@live.com.
Tell him, Paul. Tell him. You know that one, right?
Send all your complaints to casesawmill@live.com. I can't access that email anymore, and I don't care if you use foul language. If it makes you feel better, go ahead and rip me a new one. But when you get done, you need to be happy about it. And we'll all move on.
Paul will handle it.
Bonnie and Michelle, y'all's fire's looking good.
Yeah.
Ooh,
It wasn't burning all that good a little bit ago, but it is now.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's a pretty good cold base.
Yeah.
I'd
It
say
is.
Monty's back will be hot here in a minute. He'll be.
Yeah. He's been freezing all day, so I told him, I said, tonight you're probably going to like sitting in front of.
Yeah. I'm not hot yet. So-
But he did put a short sleeve T-shirt on, so.
Usually we can tell when it gets hot that water burger cup comes up a little more often.
Yeah. We didn't crank it up too much. We just threw one extra log on there. So
So Michelle, were you one of them? Were you one of them dealers? Them Girl Scout dealers that brings that crack around every fall.
I still like those cookies they sell.
I was. Those cookie cracks, yeah. Thin Mints, that was my favorite.
Yeah,
That's mine too.
mine too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Samoas and Thin Mints. That's it.
Mhm.
I didn't go to camp, but I've got a camping story.
Hey, Critter Creek.
It was our youngest son,
Hey, Mickey.
his birthday.
I'm trying to remember the.
We went to Tiger Safari
Oh,
and spent the night there. They have teepees.
and
Tuttle?
some people might know Tiger Safari if they're here.
Yeah.
Tuttle?
It's out by Tuttle.
Yeah, in Tuttle.
Yeah. Well, they have teepees out there, and you can, if you have like a party or something, you can have one of the teepees and you can stay in there. Well, I was in there with 10 or 11 boys,
Oh yeah.
all
Bless
under
you.
the age of probably 12,
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Was this?
something like that.
Yeah.
And you were in the park. And the only thing they told you was don't go back behind the tiger cages, the lion cages. Don't go back behind there after dark. Well, I noticed that my son and one of his friends was missing.
Mhm.
So I get everybody up and we go looking for them. And they had a building down there where they had reptiles.
Oh,
And they had I don't know, it's like a 2.5 foot baby alligator
mm.
in a tank down there.
Did I know this?
Probably not.
Michelle's starting to have hot flashes now.
But they had the tape. They had the tape around the mouth, and we get down there, and Caleb and Robbie. Was
Yeah.
it Robbie?
I don't know. Don't share their names.
Whichever one. We get down there, and they're standing and they're holding that little baby alligator.
Oh my
They
gosh.
pulled it out of the tank, and they were playing with it.
Oh my. So one of the other mothers, a good friend of ours, and we weren't staying, we weren't staying down there in the big teepee with all the boys. So we went home, and
Yeah, it was left to me.
Mhm.
well, you had one of the other dads.
No, it was me.
Oh, I thought he stayed.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, and those tigers or lions, or which one? I don't remember which one, but they were roaring. They would wake up at night and roar. I couldn't have done it.
And the crazy thing is the little door flap that goes over the opening for the teepee. Well, that was gone. And it was pretty chilly. So I had to take my coat off.
So it would have been October. Yeah,
Oh,
there we go. Okay.
Yeah, it was Caleb.
Yeah.
So I hung my coat over that opening and then slept with my back to that opening because it sounded like one of those lions was out roaming around.
Nope, could not have done it. Nope.
Nina just mentioned it. They've had those get out like in a storm or something one time.
They got hit by a tornado.
We didn't at one time in our lives. We lived about 10 miles from there, something like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not far
Yeah.
enough.
The day, the next morning when we got up, I forget if it was, I'm assuming it was probably a Saturday morning. I don't remember for sure what it was, but the guy that ran it, he's a fire, at that time he was a fireman, but
Yeah.
people that knew about it, if they like road killed a deer or whatever, they would just take it over and drop it at his gate. And that morning somebody had dropped a deer off at his gate, so the boys got to watch him feed the lions.
Only in Oklahoma can you take somebody a road-killed deer, and it's a great gift. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
And he was great for it because he said those lions, they need the all the innards and stuff. They need that.
They need
for
the whole
Yeah.
carcass.
for their
You say that, Paul, but not very far from where I live. Don't know if he's still there. He was an older fella. He raised wolves on one side of his property, and he had sheep on the other.
Oh. Oh.
He didn't, and I asked him, I said, "You don't feed the sheep, do you?" To the boy, he goes, "No." He said, "People, they have a cow go down, or they have, or they have stuff like that roadkill. They'll call me, and I'll go get that." But I just found it ironic. He raised wolves and kennels on one side and sheep in another.
Yeah. No.
I actually know a spot in Alaska where people drop off moose to feed grizzly bears and
He's
stuff
down
too.
here.
Well, guys, I need to get out of here because I need to get ready for in the morning and work and all that good stuff. So
I understand.
Yeah.
Yep.
See you, Ryan.
Billy.
we'll see you.
Hey,
All
y'all,
right,
y'all were talking about camp stories. I was always in trouble at camp.
Oh my.
I went to Girl Scout camp one year and caught my Girl Scout leader's arm on fire.
Oh.
And one year I was at church camp and I broke one of my counselor's arms in a pillow fight.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
See what I grew up with?
Wow.
And neither one of them was on purpose. It just happened.
Oh gosh.
That's her story, and she's sticking to it.
It really was. It was Miss Thurston at Girl Scout camp.
She's
Wow.
got her other arm.
So I stayed in trouble at camp. And I go now as an adult with the kids, and I still seem to get in trouble.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy camp when I went as a camper because the year I went to, only year I attended camp as a camper, my brother was barely in the group. It was his last year to go to children's camp and my first. And most of the boys that went with us were his friends, and they did their best to ditch me, and they were good. They were good. I kind of spent the whole week homesick, wishing I was somewhere else, and I never signed up to go to church camp again until I was a pastor. And then I was like, I think maybe I need psychiatric help because I can see this camp thing pretty good. I took a group of boys there, the first church I pastored, and we had bought a cabin from another church. The way it works at our association's campgrounds, the churches own their own cabin there, and every cabin has a boys' side and a girls' side. And so you've got however many beds and counselors for however many students you've got, but sleeping quarters are opposite sides of the building. Do what?
Where's it at? Which camp was it?
It's at Grand Lake. It's actually at Grove, but it's on Grand Lake on the Elk River arm of Grand Lake. It's called Grand Lake Baptist Assembly.
I've been to that one.
Have you?
Yeah, I've been to like 6 different ones.
At GLBA, I took a group down there, and it was the first time I'd been down there, and my wife wasn't with me as the girls' counselor, and another lady who went to our church had went, and I had come up with some rules, and I wouldn't let them do any of their pranking inside the cabin. If they're going to do pranks and stuff, they got to do it outside because nobody ever wanted to clean up the mess of shaving cream or toothpaste or whatever, you know. And so I thought I had the tiger by the tail. And first or second night, I'd got all my boys. I had about 10 boys, which is the most they let you have. So every bed was full. And I got all of them quieted down, you know, and they'd want us to giggle and talk. And I'm like, boys, we got to be quiet, go to sleep now. And I finally had got them all quieted down. And then in our room come all them girls beating the devil out of all them boys with pillows. And it was on. I mean, we had an epic pillow fight. And about the time that I finally got all the girls run back out of our room and all the boys in our room, I jammed a chair underneath the door handle. And I told them, I said, we got to go to bed. And so they piled up in bed, and it finally got quiet. And in just a little bit after it got quiet, I could even hear some snoring. I heard one of the boys say, now, if we're going to do this, we all got to get with the same dirty little plan. And I came up out of bed and I said, no, we don't. And whoever it was that said that didn't say anything. So I got my light and went around. They were all stone cold asleep. He was talking in his sleep. Making a plan to go beat up the girls with pillows.
Oh my goodness. Oh wow.
I told my girls this year at church camp, once I take my medicine, y'all better leave me alone and be quiet and go to sleep because I get grumpy. Every time they would ask me right before we go to bed, did you take your medicine? I'm like, yep. Whether I took it or not, I tell them, yeah.
You lied at church camp?
They would be, well, I was fixing to take it. They'd get real quiet, especially Birdie.
Fixing it. I was fixing it.
You ain't never going to get no satisfaction out of your brother. Sorry.
No, I'm used to it.
He's wanting to know if you've been to Robbers Cave church camp, Corey.
No, I have not. I've been to Dry Gulch. I've been to God's Green Acres. I've been to Falls Creek. I've been to Cross Timbers, the one that he said. And I can't remember the name of that other one we went to. Oh, Quartz Mountain.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've been
So-
to Falls Creek. I think Falls Creek once. Did you go to Falls Creek a few? Yeah. Yeah.
Falls Creek is where I broke my counselor's arm.
Oh my.
How'd you do that, Billy?
Rewired.
Pillow fight. And I hit her and her arm hit the metal bunk, the
That
end of the metal bunk.
I just
And
had
the-
a vision of that. What this reminds me of Annie. Do you all remember the movie Annie,
Mhm.
where they had the pillow fight up in the orphanage?
Yeah.
Well, my mama had me put a red wig on, curly, and get out there and try to sing. And do Annie. Oh my goodness.
So you were Annie Janae that day.
Yes, I was.
Hey, what Corey ain't
I-
telling y'all is she had 4 D-cell batteries in that pillowcase.
No, I did not.
Try them big 9 volts.
Jack told on you.
I don't know what it is about me going to church camp, but somebody gets hurt.
Oh man.
And it's not, and they don't even have to be around me.
Mental note: don't go with Billy.
Don't go to church camp with me.
Well, there's another mental note. I should make a little bit of a clarification about the campground. That sounds like a weird name for a campground, but it's a Baptist campground, and the name of it's Grand Lake Baptist Assembly. But everybody up here that knows about it calls it GLBA. Don't, and I repeat, don't search GLBA on the computer.
Boy, I learned that the hard way.
Close to getting
Oh
a
my
church
goodness.
No,
camp.
no.
But everybody knows it affectionately as GLBA, but it's not searchable that way. You have to search Camp at the Lake.
We called it Grand Lake
Yep. Grand Lake.
Camp.
I remember one year when we went down there and they were really going to crack down on security, and they had told everybody when it comes time for the lights out, you got to be in your cabin, and anybody caught outside your cabin will be sent home. We'll call their parents to come and get them, and if they don't come and get them, we'll call their pastor, and if he don't come and get them, we'll call the song leader, and if she don't come and get them, we'll call the deacons, and on, threatening us, big finger, First night we're there, and we told the kids this: if you're on top bunk, don't set up on that bunk without watching what you're doing. You'll hit your head on a light bulb and break the light bulb off, and there'll be glass everywhere, and you'll make a big mess and clean it up. Very first night we're there, the most orneriest kid in the boys' side sets up on his bunk and breaks the bulb, glass all over his bed. That put me and him and Anita outside, shaking his bedding off, trying to get, and here comes the security. What are you guys doing outside? And I'd already had trouble with this boy like 2 or 3 times where we already are meeting the clash of the wheels, at church camp on Monday. And I looked at the guy, I knew who it was that was doing security, and I said, I was hoping you'd come along so you could call my pastor and get him to come take me home. But I was the pastor, so
Oh, my.
Did
You were
get a phone call?
they seen what I was doing and decided they would leave me alone. I don't know what convinced them.
We're
I
having
saw up
supper.
here. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm having Mountain Dew, but it's
Were you,
got my IQ right there on the bottle. 0.
is that zero sugar?
It's 0 everything.
Zero taste.
0 everything. 0 calories.
Well,
What's,
Mick-
what's Jack eating?
Boiled eggs.
oh, that doesn't sound fun.
Chicken sandwich.
Dina's eating them with mustard. I was just eating them.
Oh, okay.
I have
Ooh,
to
mustard.
salt on
I
mine.
thought you had popcorn or something.
Ooh, a horseradish. Let's see it. Yeah.
We have eggs 3 meals a day.
Oh,
Mhm.
well, you have to with all those chickens, those
We
eggs.
got a dozen today.
I tried to grow some chickens a time or two on my own, and I never could do any good. I guess I planted them suckers too deep.
Probably.
Yeah. Amy says
That's right.
she's snacking on strawberries. I was going to go up here. Mickey and Keith both stay in Quartz Mountain. We've been there.
Well, we went to the wall.
We went to the lodge, and I went to a camp down there, but it wasn't church camp or anything. But it's beautiful down there. Well, I think
It's fun.
It's hot.
We have fun at that camp.
uh-huh.
That camp she's talking about, the church we used to go to owned it. It was private camp.
Down
Yeah.
there.
When I was a youngster, I was in the 4-H forestry club,
Mhm.
and we went to a contest. The state contest, I think, was usually at Robbers Cave.
Mm.
Maybe not. We also went to a camp, and the camp we went to was kind of set up where it had girls' barracks on one side and boys on the other, and it was at a state park. And I had never seen 3-level bunk beds, but they had them in those buildings.
Oh no.
Yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't like that. That'd be hard for my sister to push me off of.
Like I could push you.
You did. No, actually it was our other sister that pushed me off that time.
Oh.
Okay, Billy, are you older or younger? Did I miss it?
Well, look at her.
I'm
You can
younger,
Oh,
but we had an older sister.
Uh-huh.
Are you going to flip that, Billy?
Hey,
I can't
Laura.
believe you'd be that way.
He tells everybody he's younger.
She's 1
Look at
year,
his
1
tiny
month,
little
and 11
thumbnails.
days younger.
Oh, Mickey says, what did Mickey say? Never went to camp as a camper, but was a speaker at some youth events. Yeah. Well, that'd be the way to go.
Yeah.
No, you got to go for the whole experience.
Yeah.
I love going to church camp with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
They
I always
almost
went to
ruined our camp.
VBS.
I don't know, 7, 8 years ago. They air conditioned the tabernacle, and I'm like, "What are y'all doing?" And they're like, "We'll get more kids," and we have never had as many kids since we air conditioned the tabernacle.
They like sweating.
I'll tell you what, sometimes it's really hot in that tabernacle at GLBA, and they had big garage doors on each side they'd open up, and it had ceiling fans in it. But I think all that done was stirred the hot air. And I remember going in there for the evening preaching one night. I was sitting in a folding chair, and I'd usually get my group and I'd say, "We want to be off on one side or the other. Don't get out there in the middle." And they got away from me, saved me a seat right out there in the middle. And I was sitting out there, and the song service got done, and I sat down, and I'm like, somebody keeps throwing something and hitting me in the back of the leg. And I'm like, the kid behind me has got to be throwing Skittles at me and hitting me in the back of the leg. I turn around and look at him. He ain't got nothing. So I look down, and it was the sweat dripping off of my chair hitting me in the back of the leg. Yeah. Yeah. We sweated him that year.
This last year at church camp, we went to Cross Timbers. They've got a hill that is literally 90 degrees up and 90 degrees down, right in the middle of camp.
Wow.
And talking about hard,
Mm-hmm.
they're walking that for everything because the cafeteria was on one side and our cabin was on the other
Mm-hmm.
every day.
I'd
Back
be
and forth.
I'd be treating that like we did the coffee plantation in Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
We went downhill. It was on the side of a volcano. We went downhill when we was looking at everything, and they gave us a ride back up.
My sister, they still, well, it's probably been a few years now, but they would go as counselors when their kids were going to False Creek. But every year it seemed like they were constantly there when the Oklahoma tornadoes were coming through. So they've been down there for so many of them. Our kids had grown up and, weren't, they're way too old for camp. They haven't been in camps in a long time, but my sister is one who, her and her husband, they would go down as sponsors every year.
I've been to camp with every kid in our family.
I can't do that. There's something about choking them that they won't let me go.
You need a longer fingers. That way you can choke them and it doesn't hurt them.
Oh my God.
Good night, Donald. Thank you for being here, Donald. And
See you, Donald.
Thank you, Lisa and Donald.
See, I can do the little kids, but I can't do the teenagers.
Oh yeah, your grip
No.
is small to get. Yeah, I got you.
Oh,
That wasn't it.
all the way to camp, and it was late when I got there.
She didn't hear you.
I slept in it.
We had a speaker at our camp one year for youth camp, and this guy's now a pastor in Oklahoma, and he's an Oklahoman. His name is Mike Keybone.
I know Mike Keybone.
Mike Keybone. If you need to get a mental picture of Mike
He's a big
Keybone.
man.
He is 6 foot something.
Mhm.
He wouldn't make a totem pole because he's too big in the middle. Or he used to be. He lost a bunch of weight right after he preached our camp, and I don't know why, but he told a chicken killing story.
Oh no.
He said when he was a youngster, he lived with his granny, and his granny had chickens, and there was this one rooster that was really mean, and she went out and wrung its neck, and she'd wrung its neck so hard its head popped off. And then Mike said, and that rooster stood up and he wasn't done being mean. He chased me around the house twice. And he didn't have no head. I was being chased by a headless rooster.
And then
Mike said, I was running so fast, my belly button was giving me hickeys on my forehead.
I heard you talk about that the other day. I met Mike Keybone at that Jim's Rewire down there at Falls Creek.
Yeah. When Mike said that, the only thing I could do is how are 500 15-year-old kids going to take this, you know? And I had two of them before I ever even got away from there stopped me and said, can you believe he said his belly button was giving him hickeys on his forehead? I was running so hard, but Mike really had a good way of connecting with the kids that, I mean, not everybody's got it, but Mike's got it.
Yeah. He's a good speaker.
Don't feel bad, Keith. I have a ditch story too.
Keith slept in the ditch.
He did.
Yeah, that's what I was looking up here.
After hitchhiking.
Oh, that's dangerous.
His car broke down.
Yeah. I think, did Keith jump off of here?
He
Yeah.
just said goodnight.
I think he said good night. That's what I thought he did.
Jack just showed it. If there's anybody on here that's not subscribed to Dyer Family Farms, go in there and subscribe. It needs 2 subscribers to hit 6,800.
Oh my.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
It's getting there. Thank you for mentioning that. You didn't have to. It's growing. I still got to get the computer side figured out.
Goodness.
You ever watch that video?
When you-
I tell y'all good night. I'll
Good
see
night.
you next time.
Good night, Blister.
Oh, thank you. Good night. Thanks for joining us.
Andy,
Bye.
Love you.
Love you too.
Oh, really? I do.
You do.
She gone. I don't think she cares, Jack.
Oh, she does.
Jack, and your next line is "I love you more."
She sure needs y'all's prayers. She's going through it with her husband.
Oh,
All his
Mhm.
medical.
yeah.
She might still be on here.
Robbie and Sonia's been subscribed. Yeah.
Yep. Thank you, Robbie. Appreciate that. My other channel's like at 89. I'm going to break 100 before the year's over.
Woohoo!
You know, that first 100 comes very, very slowly.
Well, it's about quality, not quantity. Well, you know, the
Right.
the tortoise and the hare story.
It's not about quantity. Just look at my channel. It's not about quantity.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's about.
I'll tell you what. If anybody needs
Good one.
if anybody needs a good example of a bad example, you can look at my channel. It's,
I'm good at
No.
confusing the algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
I have
No.
no idea what that algorithm wants.
Nope.
Go at your own pace.
Oh,
You never know what video is gonna push you over the top.
Well, on Johnny and Christine on Gillum's, he had a short that was really popular, and it was on one of the shorts, not even on video, right, Paul?
right. It's the
Mhm.
bull. He done a short of that bull Danny of his.
Yep.
Yeah.
Caused him to do a whole
Now he
series
does
or
a
something.
Danny series all the time now.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's the bull.
I got a pair of shorts I like too, but they ain't helped me on YouTube.
I just recently did a video of a friend of mine's workshop that he built all out of wood that my son Scott had sawed for him. And I delivered a load of firewood to the guy, and his name also was Scott. And I said, "Hey, can I video your building?" Sure. Showed me all the outside, all the inside. I got to video all of it, and he talked about the thing, and I told him, I said, well, I'll put it up, and he hadn't even ever looked at it. Thing's got over 1,500 views, which is way more than most of my videos get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Being able to see the wood sawed and then build the building. Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
I know.
keep doing there.
Robbie, I know it. 45 videos on one and or views, and then 400 on another. Now,
Yep.
you can't predict it.
Yeah, she did the one on dog
Dog food.
making dog food. She was just messing around and did that, and it got how many views?
I think it's at 26 or 27, somewhere between that. 26 or 2,700.
Now, if you really want to make a video that'll get a lot of views,
Mm-hmm.
all you've got to do at the end of making the dog food, put a little clip in there with Monty finishing his supper and ask him, how was it, honey?
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness, that's
It was
perfect.
really good. And then just, end it,
End it and leave it like that.
You get a bunch of views. Maybe people go back and watch that and watch it and watch it.
Yeah,
Right.
Paul has a point because
Who
there
is
is
That's
it?
this.
better than clickbait.
It is. I seen a show. It's called Cheapskates. It's a show, and this woman fed the man. I guess it was her ex, some cat food. I couldn't believe it. She wouldn't even buy him tuna fish. She'd give him cat food right out of the cat food container.
I
I
know
couldn't
Monty
believe.
had fish
I couldn't
tacos or
believe it.
tacos.
Do what?
Monty had venison tacos tonight.
Oh, that was the other night. What night did we have? He actually had soup tonight.
Ah,
Mhm.
I
He didn't
thought
have
maybe
the venison
today.
tacos.
I was so jealous.
Oh, I think we actually might have had that for lunch. Was it
We
yesterday?
had it dinner.
Yeah,
had
we
it for lunch. and
we
then-
make enough to have lunches.
I bet it's better than cat food out of the can.
It's the best.
Oh, yeah.
Leftovers are the best.
Amy's leaving. Do you think she'll be back?
Who?
Amy.
Amy? No.
She has this habit. She leaves on Trey's live, and then in a while she comes back.
Yeah, but
You may
Trey's on
learn.
there 9 hours.
Yeah.
Good night, Amy.
Yeah, I think she's still trying to get over her being sick.
Mhm.
I did see she had stuff, her live scheduled for this week. So
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
That is good.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, look at the time.
Yep.
81
Time it is
subs. That-
9:00.
It's 9 o'clock. I don't know where the evening goes on Sunday nights.
I've heard time flies when you're having fun. I don't know if that's how you gauge it, but
I guess
It's
so.
true.
Skids across the airways.
I know it's our last evening before you go back to work, and it seems like it just flies by.
Mhm.
Oh, I know. Yeah, and that's got to get his. I'm always on Sundays. I'm always getting work clothes and everything washed up and make sure they're done, and it's
That
usually 9 o'clock, and we're sitting here going, "Oh yeah, got to go put them in the dryer."
That won't be true next week, Dina,
Well,
because we're off next Monday.
we're
Not
Mm.
tomorrow, but the week after.
Mhm.
Some holiday.
that's
things are
next,
looking up.
that is next weekend.
Yeah. Did I stutter? Your ears wobble?
So we got to work through lunch this next week. Yeah. My
Well, I
ears
think
wobble.
it's going to be nice this week. I'm looking forward to some nice weather, but this time next Sunday, I think we've got that.
Supposed to be snowing again.
They're calling it Siberian vortex or something.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
My mom said, "Do you know what the weather's like there?" And I was like, "No." And she's like, "It's very cold."
She's like, it's cold in Siberia. I said, we're not in Siberia.
Yeah, I was going to ask, is that in Oklahoma?
It's right up there by Miami.
Yeah.
28-15. Woohoo.
Oh, set.
Yeah.
It shows 34, 19, 11, 8 on Monday.
Wow.
Oh, does it
Yeah.
show snow?
I think
It
it says
shows
18.
snow.
Is that during
Enjoy
the
that,
day?
Paul.
No, that is 8, not 18. It's
8
It
at
is
night.
late. Ooh.
24 and 8.
Oh.
What are you doing?
Breaking ice at 24 and 8. That's what I'll
Oh,
be
man.
doing. I was telling somebody at church, I'm like, It'd be all right if my axe got a little rusty for a while, but it ain't gonna get a chance to.
No, you'll keep it shined up, busting that ice.
Oh my. I've got the heaters in the different troughs to
hmm
Me
I-
too, and I sure like them.
I do too. I've been trying some different ones, and I'd rather not have to run the extension cords everywhere, but oh well, they work. They're consistent.
Y'all
Yeah.
gotta see it. Y'all gotta see that film. It's called Togo. If y'all haven't seen it,
Togo.
I put it in chat. It's a true life story, and of course, since we're in winter, and he's a husky, I believe. What he has done, him and Balto, he, you know, he was given the medicine in a blizzard. So y'all have to just go and see this flick, this beautiful film. It's a true story. Y'all will love it.
That's cool.
Yep, Greg
Mhm.
Duncan's going to be preaching at my church, Commerce South, or Exciting Southeast Baptist Church in Commerce next Sunday morning.
Will y'all go
Yep.
live?
I talked about it on our live, Paul.
Yeah.
I got the note right there.
I remember you saying that last week.
We'll be live on Facebook. We can't put any of it up on YouTube because we don't own the rights to any of the music we'll sing.
And Facebook will let you do that.
Yep.
All you got to do is plan ahead of time and get on and do research and
Mhm.
get your praise team to sing only what am I trying to say?
I don't know.
Songs with no
No.
restriction.
No, he don't have no idea who they are. He's just
Oh.
shooting the lip. He don't got no.
I don't know who is.
You don't know who our music director is.
No. Is it you?
No, her name's Mary.
Hey,
I prayed about her a lot, and Jesus convinced me he dealt with a lady named Mary before too.
Sounds like
uh,
Jamie Regal.
what am I trying to say? The music.
Copyright.
Copyright.
No,
That is-
no copyright. Yeah, you can find them with no copyright and then use that.
Public domain.
It'll say copyright on your video, but it's a user allows it to be used or something like
Yeah.
that if you use music like that.
Mm-hmm.
But cool, you got it figured out. So now we know we're watching on Facebook, and
Not me.
Mary does.
Somebody else got it.
I've never had snow ice cream before, y'all.
What?
You're missing out.
No,
Where you live, Florida or something?
Well,
Just you gotta be really careful about people trying to sell you on lemon flavored snow ice cream.
Yeah, if it's yellow, don't eat it.
No.
no,
Ooh.
it's not, or brown, yellow or brown. Don't eat it.
That's two tips.
They're
I like
digging
to give
too
out.
deep.
Don't eat yellow snow and never squat with your spurs on.
Always
I-
drink upstream from the herd.
That's
Uh-huh.
exactly right.
Ooh,
Well, I guess we're going to get out of here. It is a work
we
night.
need to get
Yeah.
off of here too. I think
Yeah,
we've gone
way
over.
over.
We try not to do that on Sunday nights because
I
Everybody's
hope
got
you
to get
start
up. and
feeling
go.
better.
everybody's got to get to work.
Yep, Monty,
Mhm.
hope you feel better soon.
I do too. Oh,
Do y'all
Looks
want to
like
close it? Do y'all want to close
cheeks
in a
are
prayer
rosy.
before? Do y'all want to close in a prayer before we head off? Yeah.
sure.
Let Paul do it. He's a preacher.
Oh, I can pray. We had a request back up there ways, and I know we need to remember Janae's sister and mom.
Mm-hmm.
Remember what the request was back up the way?
Yeah.
I'm
Well, Jackson.
She's on the feeding tube, my sister. Yeah.
gonna-
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was a good one, wasn't it, Robbie?
Yeah.
If I missed it, yeah. If y'all see it, I'm scanning up.
No, Robbie's just saying it was a great live tonight.
Okay. I was looking. I must have missed a
It'll be
prayer.
all right. It'll be all right. We'll get it anyway.
Okay.
Let's go to the Lord in prayer. Bow with me. Heavenly Father, Lord, we love you. We thank you for who you are and the great things you've done for us. And Father, we want to lift up Amy and Janae's mom and Janae's sister to you tonight. We know that they need your healing and comfort and peace. And Father, we just pray that you would just touch them. Father, we pray for everybody that's on this live tonight and the ones that are in the chat, Lord, that you would just keep each one safe and help them as they walk through their week. Lord, we just praise you and thank you for your many blessings on us. And Father, we can't thank you enough for Jesus. Thank you for sending him to be our salvation. And it's in his name we're praying. Amen.
Man.
Amen.
Thank you, Paul, for doing that.
Some of y'all going to think I pray with my eyes open.
Well, I didn't read it in the Bible where it said you had to shut them.
Mm-hmm.
Some people look up, but I was always afraid to look up because my mouth would wind up open.
Oh, you're just fine.
Well, you
Y'all
guys have a great week.
Well, good
All
night,
right.
everybody. Good
See
night,
y'all.
Mickey and Wild Huckleberry, everybody that's on there. We appreciate it. We will see you guys next time. Thanks, Janae. We'll see you.
You're welcome. Good night, y'all.
Good
Avid
night.
Fisherman is live, and I'm going to head on over there for a little bit. I try to help everybody as much as I can.
Yeah. Who's live, did you say? Who's going live?
Avid Fisherman.
Avid. Okay.
I
Yeah.
believe he's still live, but I'll pop
Okay.
in a little bit. I love
Okay.
y'all. I wish
Okay.
y'all lived closer. Y'all come anytime, okay?
Okay. Thank you so
Okay.
much, Janae.
God
Bye-bye.
bless y'all.
Uh-huh.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody, for joining. Bye-bye.